Money blocks. Do you have them? Today, I want to share with you 5 ways you are blocking your money. All right, so I usually like to start things with a story. So I want to share with you the story of my first 2 official years in business. So the first year, well, and it's difficult to say the first year simply because I had already kind of been in business. I was running a blog. I was making money from that. But I went full time with my business in October of 2015. In 2016, I generated $65,000 that very first year. And then in 2017, I hit 68,000 that year. And I was like, okay, something's not right. Like something is wrong. Something is not going. Like, why did I make the exact same amount this year as I did the year before? And that's when I started really looking into like money blocks and looking into, what things was I doing that was causing me to not really grow. Because that very first year that I made $65,000, I was bringing in money from coaching. I did a little bit of freelance writing, but like a little tiny bit. I did some brand deals, but the majority of my income came in from coaching. So that next year I said, well, I'm going to ramp up my coaching and courses and all of that income, and I'll be able to make even more. Oh, and I also had a retainer client, but once again, the money that was coming in from coaching when I made the 65,000 was I think 30 or 40% of the revenue for that year. And then the next year, the money from coaching was 60 to 70%. So technically I did grow. I grew the coaching revenue, but I didn't grow the overall revenue. It was almost like I was stuck and blocked at a certain number where even though certain things were growing, other things were just crashing and burning, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I started this journey to figure out what am I doing? What is blocking me? What's blocking my money? What's in my way? What is there that I can put into place and that I can take action on to make this right and to make this better? So over the next couple of months, all of 2018, I started really researching, and I started on that journey, and I realized that there were certain things that were blocking my revenue, my income, my wealth. And I want to share those things with you because since then my income has continued to grow inside of my business, even with just coaching and moving into doing some more consulting and done for you services. And it's all because I did these 5 things or changed these 5 things. So I want to share those with you right now. The first way that you're blocking your money, and the way that I was blocking my money, was that you don't trust yourself. I was not trusting myself that I was going to follow through with certain things. I didn't feel safe to make the money. And I started an exercise in my journal where I continued to write down, you are safe, you are loved, you are cared for. And that process of, writing out that affirmative statement was something that really helped me to start trusting myself more, because I felt like if I made the money, it was just gonna poof, go away. So I didn't feel safe to make the money. I didn't trust myself to keep the money once I made it. And that's why I ended up sabotaging myself. And, while areas of business were doing better, I was sabotaging other areas so that I was stuck at the same financial level. So that is something that I had to handle. First thing is starting to trust myself and realize that the more money I make, the better it gets, the more money I make. There were several affirmations that I started to use that really helped me to learn how to trust myself. So if you don't trust yourself with the money, or that you are going to take care of the money when it comes in, then you won't take the actions that you need to take in order to make the money. So that could be a way that you were blocking yourself from making money. The second way that you're blocking yourself from making money, and the way I was blocking myself, is that you have a fear of failure. You want perfection too much. Perfection is the enemy of progress, because if you just desire perfection, there are some things that you're going to do and you won't actually put them out there or launch or, open the doors and open the cart because you're waiting for things to be perfect. And that's what I realized. There was this one program that I kept working on and I really wanted to be perfect. I was like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. And I realized that if I just launch it, if I just put it out there, then, if it fails, but at least I'll have learned something along the way. So I stopped trying to be so perfect. I realized that my launch process is asking people what they want. So I will poll you guys. I'll, go into the Get Coaching Clients community and I'll ask inside of the group, what do you want to learn next? And then I get, your responses, and then I set a date. So I set a date to do that training or workshop. And once I do that, then I know that I've got to create, and I can't, be perfect. I've got to just create on that date that I set. And that's what I had to do. So if you feel like perfection might be holding you back and you're scared to fail, just understand that you can fail forward, and that will allow you to get progress that much faster. The analogy that I love, and I use this all the time, is the analogy of an airplane. So an airplane is never really on course. It has a destination where it knows it's the airplane, where the pilot knows where the airplane is going. And then they set course for that. So they say, this is our goal. This is where we're going. And then the airplane is sometimes on course, off course, on course, off course, but they're course correcting. Like, they are correcting their trajectory as they get there along the way. So when you get on an airplane, just know that it's essentially failing its way forward until it gets you to your final destination. And that's why you need a pilot, and the airplane can't just fly on autopilot, right? Because there needs to be someone there to, pay attention to all the instruments and course correct and all of that. So that's how your life is. You are the pilot of your life, and it's just no such thing as perfection. Okay. You're already perfect the way you are. And if you want to make it to your goal and your destination, you're going to have to be okay with failing forward. You're going to learn along the way, and it's going to make it that much sweeter once you do get to your goal. Number three, you won't sell. I was so scared to sell. I remember I was following someone, and every single week she was talking about her offer. She was emailing people about it. She was doing live streams about it. And she was saying, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. And as soon as she closed the doors for that thing, then she was open and selling the next thing. And I remember looking at her and being a little envious, honestly, and thinking why is she just hammering her audience with offers? She doesn't give people a chance to breathe. And that was a money block that I had that I didn't even realize that I had. The reason I realized that was a money block was that at one point I said, do I have any feelings of envy? Do I have any feelings of jealousy? Do I have any feelings of frustration? What are the negative emotions I have, and who are they directed towards? What actions are people taking that are causing me to feel that way? And once I evaluated those feelings, I realized, I was frustrated and feeling a little bit of envy and jealousy towards this person because they're doing what I feel like I'm too scared to do. And because I saw that greatness in them that was reflected in me, but I was blocking it, that's where those feelings of jealousy and envy came up. So if you are feeling jealousy or envy, it's okay. It's an opportunity for you to pay attention and say, am I feeling jealous? Am I feeling envy because I'm not doing what I should be doing? Because I know that I have greater inside of me. And if so, then it's probably what's blocking your money. So if you're not making what you want to make in your business or just in life, then you're probably playing smaller than you're capable of. Just being honest. I will go into that. That actually transitions really well into number 4, which is you're comparing yourself. I lost a lot of time, And by a lot, I mean way more than I should have. You should not spend more than 1 second comparing yourself to someone else. So I lost a lot of time comparing myself to other people, looking at what other people were doing, scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and watching other people's videos and saying, I wish I could do that, or I wish I had done that, or why are they getting the attention that I feel like I should be getting? Comparison is the thief of joy, period. The only reason to compare yourself to someone is to steal your joy. There's no reason to compare yourself because you don't even know what's behind the scenes of their life. You don't know if you're on chapter 2 and they happen to be on chapter 7. You don't know where they are in their journey. You have no idea. You're on the outside and you're looking in, and you know everything about your situation, but you only know about their situation, what they happen to share on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. So I realized that I needed to stop comparing myself because it was preventing me from taking action. Once I stopped comparing myself and I realized that I have everything I need to succeed and all I need to do is get out there and start taking action, things started moving for me. I started to make my offers that I wanted to make. I didn't care if somebody else had already released something that sounded similar. Like I was just like, people want to work with me because they want to work with me. So I'm just going to release this offer. And so it helped to realize that, I had to just stop comparing myself. For some people, like you don't have to subject yourself if it's something that you still have a hard time getting over. Some people I just stopped following. Some brands I stopped paying attention to. And if there were things that I felt like I wasn't strong enough at that time to stop comparing myself and stop paying attention, I just unfollowed. You don't have to follow anyone. And actually, what you should be using social media for is to grow your business and posting your own stuff. So these days I post my own stuff and then I get off. Like I'm on there every now and then and I'll scroll a little bit. But if I find myself scrolling, I find something else to do. Okay. So that's something that I would 100% recommend, because if you're comparing yourself, it's probably blocking you from taking action and it's probably blocking your money. Number 5 is you're not actually committed. And I will say that commitment comes in different levels. So for somebody who is working full time and, for example, they really want to start their business, their commitment might come in the form of waking up an hour early. Someone else's commitment might come in the form of waking up 2 hours early. Another person's commitment might come in the form of not going out with friends and working all day Saturday. So there are different levels of commitment. And once again, you can't compare yourself. So you've got to figure out what that level of commitment is for you. You know what it is and you know when you're slacking. I knew what I was slacking on. I knew that there were days that I would just kind of hang out on the couch and I was like, I just don't really want to do anything today. And it wasn't a matter of like me giving myself a break or anything. I wasn't committed like I knew I should be. I changed my financial goals. I was like, well, I only need to make $3,000 a month. And it was like, there's no reason for me to set that as a financial goal, because obviously now I like blow that out of the water, but like, there's no need to set a goal that's just enough. Like, why would you set a goal that's like, this is all I need? Because you're not the only person on this earth. Like, I want to be able to donate. I want to be able to give. I want to be able to help other business owners. I want to be able to support, anyone who might need it, along with doing a lot of fun stuff. Like, you can't fly in a private jet for $3,000 a month. And I want to be able to fly in a private jet. Like, there are certain things that I want to be able to do that if I'm playing small and I'm not committed, I'm not able to do. And what that did was it led me to feelings of frustration and inner turmoil, honestly, because I was battling with like, nobody needs that much money versus I have greatness in me. And this is what I want to do. It's not just about the money. It's the level of impact that I want to make. So I went back and forth and I finally realized that I just wasn't being committed. And once I committed, that's when things started flowing for me. Now, I just gave you 5, but I do have a bonus one. I'm going to do a number 6. So number 6 way that you are blocking your money is you are asking the wrong questions. Questions like, why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me? Like those types of questions, like what's wrong with me? Why am I not there yet? Why isn't this working? Whatever questions you ask, those are the answers you're going to get. So if you're asking, why isn't this working? Well, you're going to get an answer of, well, this is not working, number 1, and here's why. Instead, if you ask, how can this work? Now you're asking a question in the positive of this work, right? This is working, and how can it work? Then you're going to get the answer that's going to move you forward. So you could be blocking your money by asking the wrong questions. Like I was asking questions like, why can't I succeed? Like, what kind of question is that? Like, that's the type of question that it's negative and it makes you believe that you're not succeeding. And I was succeeding. I wasn't succeeding in all the areas where I wanted to, but it's because I wasn't committed. I was trying to be a perfectionist, like all these things that I just talked about. So if that's the case for you, like I want you to ask better questions. How can this work? Who do I need to work with in order to grow my audience? Who do I need to reach out to today? What is the one email I need to send right now? What's the phone call I need to make? What organizations should I join in order to network with more people? Who can make a purchase at this very moment to help me change my financial situation? So when you start asking those types of questions, then the responses that you need will come to you. And I want to share with you just a small story before we close this out of how this worked for me. I had someone who had reached out before and she was like, hey, I think I'm interested in your one-on-one services. And I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, like, let's set up a call. And she never set up a call. And I wasn't committed, so I wasn't going after her. And one day I was just like, who do I need to talk to right now to help me change my financial situation? And I was like, oh yeah, I need to reach out to this girl and see if she wants to get on a call. I sent her a message. We actually handled everything over Messenger and she became a client that very day. And I think actually this was when I did a day in the life. So if you watch the day in the life video, it was actually on that day that we were messaging back and forth and she became a one-on-one client. And so this is really something that is like full circle for me because it's not just ways that you are blocking your money that's kind of preventing you from having the success that you want. But it's, you know, the things that you don't even realize. But once you start paying attention to it and start asking the right questions, it's really going to help you to get to where you want to be in life. What ways are you blocking your money? Is there something where you feel like you need to improve on? I would love to hear from you and get the conversation started. Go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments in the box below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.